My dark and lovely souls, my name is Lenny Graves, and I'm 2/3 mortal and 1/3 God. And tonight, I wanted to talk to you about why the chapter had to end. This is about a relationship more than anything, so I hope that resonates with you. And maybe a relationship that ended. I'm hit real strongly by a Sabotage song. Yes, I'm old. Edge of Thorns, where and so we end the chapter and let the stage lights fade, right? Get that kind of energy. So a relationship has ended, and I think at this point you kind of know that it is. Maybe you held on. You ever done that, my dark and lovely soul? I know I've been foolish and done that in my life. You ever held on to somebody and just hoping that they call, hope they come back, and they don't? Because often, let's be honest, my dark and lovely souls, movies are popular and writers write them and stuff because they create fantasy situations that rarely happen. It's rare that people come back or it's all happily ever after. Sometimes those chapters have to end. Is that a bad thing? No. Our life is a book of many chapters. There were times in my life where I closed a chapter in tears, only to realize a few chapters later in my life, closing that chapter in tears was the best thing that happened to me. But that's not what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about why the chapter ended. To give you a little piece, just a little bit, because I know what it's like to sit there and wonder why. And I'm going to use the cards, my psychic might, or whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to peer into your destiny and their heart a little bit and tell you why it ended and why they had to move on. If there's any hope in there, I will absolutely give it to you. But my dark and lovely souls, as I say often, I don't sugarcoat readings. So I'm going to shuffle one more time to get a connection with you. While I'm doing that, if you would think about liking and subscribing and all that kind of stuff, it really helps my channel. I know, mini commercial. But I'm going to go like this. I'm going to hit the deck. First card I pull is Judgment. I'm going to pull 3, and I'm going to make a little story for us, okay? Second card I pull is the Queen of Wands. And the third card I pull is the King of Wands. This person in their heart was always looking for a next level in a relationship. I hate to say it like this, but something you guys weren't. The King of Wands and the Queen of Wands together, it's just like a power dynamic couple or something like that. Maybe you thought that you guys had that, but you didn't. You didn't. It seemed like the right path, but the energy that I'm getting up from the cards is kind of illusion. And when this person ended that chapter, you guys were fighting and stuff like that, it was because you never came into your charismatic forms that crossed over, right, with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. It's hard to explain. But it wasn't there. I'm going to pull 2 more cards. The World, which is all about ending chapters. And then the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know the best way to put this, and I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Your chapter had to end because the person that you're worried about, the person that you're thinking about, my dear, this person's shallow, if you will, materialistic. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, you know, that kind of thing. And they wanted this real, like, kind of illusion of a couple that doesn't really exist. This perfect marriage. I always try to be my best Gomez to my Morticia, and people should have a Gomez-Morticia relationship, obviously. But life is sometimes we fight, not everybody's perfect and stuff like that. This person expects that perfection, and if they don't get it, and they're also real materialistic, they just move on to something else. Though I believe, with the Tower, wow, and then the Queen of Pentacles, and I won't say this person is a narcissist or evil or anything like that, because again, I read for a lot of different people, and different people have different things that cause them to do different things, right? But they really are chasing some surface level stuff. And I feel bad for them because, as the Eagles once said, don't draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. The Queen of Hearts is always your best bet. Surface level stuff never tends to attract. Diamonds don't glitter for, they do glitter forever, I think, because there's some stuff. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean, right? But this person you don't want anyway, because this person wants like this magical super relationship that exists in television with this person that's just going to lavish them with travel and gifts and all these kind of things and put all over the world and stuff like that, which I believe everyone should aspire to do. You should do every day to make your partner just be blown away without just freaking Hallmark romance movie you are. But sometimes we're just human beings, right? This person, that's not good enough. And I suspect that they bounce from one relationship to another relationship, ending many people's chapters because they're kind of charismatic and they talk nice when they want to and stuff like that. But for you, my dark and lovely soul, hold on, I'm going to pull 2 more cards. 2 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, You could really try with this person if you wanted to and try to draw them back with like a glow up or a newfound success and stuff like that. But what you're not seeing is this person's nature is I don't think they'll ever allow themselves to be happy. You know how some people just won't let themselves be happy? There are some people who just like to brood. They hang out down in Bittertown. I used to live there. And they just want to brood, right? That's just their nature to be. This person just doesn't want to be happier. They're always looking for the grass is greener, and that's why they ended that chapter with you. Is there any great poetic reason from the universe or anything like that? Eight of Wands. So I'm going to give you kind of like, and take this the way you want, my dark and lovely souls, is I'm musical today. I'm musical. I'm all kinds, from pop to rock to now we're going to hit country. Is Garth Brooks. There's a song he wrote, The Dance, and I'm not much of a country person. Yeah, sometimes I like country. I try to dance. But Garth Brooks, I like The Dance because the song goes, I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. It's a good song, right? But it's like, you know, sometimes we got to get pain. You had to be in this relationship that made you happy and stuff like that, kind of swept you off your feet. And then it ended and you didn't know why, and you're heartbroken, you're holding on. But it's just the hammer that forged your soul. And you don't want to hear that from me. But from this, you're going to explode in new creativity. You're going to explode in a whole bunch of new stuff with the Eight of Wands energy that came up. Because my dark and lovely souls, everything happens to us for a reason, including like bad relationships, heartbreaks, chapters that close us in tears. As I open this up, I once closed a chapter in tears in my life, and I thought it was done, right? And this happens to everybody. It's not unique to me. Mortals, gods, mystics, werewolves, vampires, whatever. It happens to everybody, right? Seriously. But I thought that was like, just, no, I'm not going to be happy again and stuff like that. And 2 chapters later, like I said, I'm glad that chapter closed. I'm telling you, you're going to feel the same way. So close this chapter. Let it go. It's a day. The stars always influence my readings, my dark and lovely souls. It's a day for letting things go. Let it go. Pull that tether that's grounding you away. And let it go and let that chapter end, because I promise you, even if you tried to get back to this person, I'm not saying it couldn't. I think that's a possibility for sure. They're never going to be happy because they're not going to let themselves be happy. While you can be happy. You have all the charisma, love, charm, and everything. That Eight of Wands assures me of that. That you can go out and just make somebody else really happy, and that person's going to make you really happy. And my dark and lovely souls, I always say the best love is like a symphony. And like, you know, you have like the violin section and then the cellos, and then they come together, and then like the violas, you know what I'm talking about, and the percussion hits and the conductor, and he brings all these songs and they cross together in a beautiful thing. One day your song will join someone else's song, and it's a beautiful song. But this song that you were playing before, this song was just a quick really, I hit my table, there's spirits. Sorry, dark and lovely soul's not perfect. But that was like just a bad jazz melody. This last thing, it sounded cool for a while, but then you realize it was jazz and you really didn't like it. No, seriously, even if you're heartbroken about this right now, and I'm sorry, I know heartbreak better than a lot. I promise you things happen as they do for a reason. I know that's cliche, but it's true. And close this chapter. A couple more chapters. I promise you, I'm psychic. I can see the future. You're going to be smiling and be happy that this chapter closed. And I promise you, that person who closed the chapter on you, karma and love's a funny thing, my dark and lovely souls. Somebody will close the chapter on them. My dark and lovely souls, my name is Lenny Graves. You can find me on TikTok and YouTube at The Lenny Graves. You can find me at Dysfunctional Enlightenment on Facebook and Instagram, if I can use words. You can also get a personal reading from me at thelennygraves.com, and I also sell spells and books and a bunch of fun stuff. You might dig it. I would love to see you there. My dark and lovely souls, close the chapter. Let the stage lights fade. And then they're going to rise, and the curtain will rise back on a whole new show, a new dance, a new performance, and I promise you, it will just blow you away. I'm going to go like this. Have the best night, my dark and lovely soul. I know this hurts, but it's going to be better. There's always a better, every dawn's a better thing.